G'day everyone, DJ Darks here. I'll be trying a new method for this 2DX discussion video series, where instead of just blurting out information in an unorganized mess, I'm going to write down a script and follow it. If you think this is a better style of presentation to the more relaxed videos I've been making, then please let me know in the comments below. But for now, we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. So the question that I want to pose today is, what defines a good player? A lot of people will go to a person's score records or rankings and say, "Holy shit, that guy's amazing!" and so on and so forth. But the question which I want to pose on top of this is, are those scores really an ideal representation of someone's skill? Should that person be able to score as well as that record, or anywhere near close to it, in a number of differing circumstances? That's where consistency comes in, which relates to how well someone can score or clear relative to their best at any given time. I would argue that consistency is a far greater measure of someone's overall skill than their records, because at the end of the day, if you lost that all-important record, you could always get it back easily, so long as you were consistent enough as a player. I recall a conversation that my friend Yusuke had with DJ1048 about top ranker tournaments. He said that in the past, he used to read a lot of comments from people saying how players would compare the scores that they would get in top ranker competitions, and so that they could beat those scores really easily. However, 1048 stated that it's the consistency of the players in the competition which people don't even consider. Take for example a simple factor such as the environment of KAC. The key layout is quite heavy, with 100 grams, springs and switches. You have no idea what the timing offset is on the tournament machine, and on top of this you have thousands of people watching solely you play live across the world. When you factor in all of these things, it makes the scores which people achieve at KAC even more incredible. 1048 stated that very few people can deal with this degree of pressure, as we all saw in KAC 2013, where RKS32, an amazing player, choked horribly when the pressure was on. The same concepts apply to clearing as well. In my interview with DJ Bukake, he mentioned that he believes the lamps are a far better indicator of someone's ability to comprehend the chart than scoring. It's for this reason that many players in Japan focus much more on their clear lamps than scoring. However, that being said, you can also argue that someone might have fluked it once and will probably never be able to EX hard clear or full combo that song again. So with clears, I see someone who plays with hard on at all times as a lot more consistent and skillful than someone who doesn't. But with regards to clearing, that's just my personal opinion, and not really solid advice. At the end of the day, it basically comes down to the risk of your money at the arcade versus an opinion of one person. So what brings about consistency, and what helps players improve this aspect of their gameplay? To explain this, I want to bring forth a debate about the way that scores are saved in Japan versus machines in the US. In America, when a new style is released, your records are the same. You start every style with your 1 billion DJ points, scores, lamps, everything comes back. However, in Japan, one thing which most people aren't aware of is that when a new style comes out, the scoreboard gets completely wiped and started afresh. No one's best scores carry across to the next style. However, their clear lamps, such as hard clears and full combos, do. Now I know a lot of people would be outraged by this fact. When I first moved to Japan, I was extremely upset by this as well. However, I am now pro score wipes at the end of each style. The reason for this is it forces you to go back through each and every folder and give every song a go again. What many people don't realise is that this score wipe promotes people to work on consistency and go back and explore charts which they may not have touched in literally years. It's very similar to the Diablo 2 ladder, when a reset would happen, or a league would begin where people would have to start with no characters, items or gold. Were people pissed off by this? No! People came back to the game to give it a try again, and to try afresh and see what each of the new effects of the patches were. Why was this the case? Resets give people a fresh start, a new beginning with no ties to scores or expectations of the past. It allows you to set a new line for yourself with first tries for that style. And once again, coming back to the main topic, shows how far you've gone since the last style in terms of consistency. If you AAA a song on a previous style, it actually brings forth the incentive to say, well, I got it last style, so I should be able to do it this style as well. That subconscious attitude is really the primary driving force for achieving that level of consistent play. That's been the main topic of this rant. When I got Kaiden, someone said to me, doesn't matter, do it again. And you know what? I entirely agree with them. It's that mindset that doing it once and only once doesn't cut it, which makes you strive for consistency. Did you just clear your first 10? That's great! Go clear another one. Did you just get one miss on Mahoroba another? Awesome! Now I'm gonna go and get one miss again and again until I want to punch myself in the face. It's having that mindset of, I've done this, it's great, but I want to do it again, or do better, that drives you to reach that goal. But alongside mindset, it's also a matter of time which plays an important factor. You'd want to try and play regularly enough to keep yourself on a track and withhold that same muscle memory to do these tasks over and over. There's a saying that if a piano player stops playing for one day, he loses 3 days worth of progress. Seeing as 2DX is basically 7 piano keys and a spin disc, I would definitely argue that the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Regular play is an extremely important factor for consistency, and I'd highly recommend any person to try and squeeze a game or two in every day, just to make sure your hands remember, oh, so this is how I mash those buttons correctly. If I had to put this in a lame Apple-related saying, a 2DX session a day keeps the Jew moments away. So that's all for this week's 2DX discussion. Next week I'll try the same style of presentation, but the topic will be about 2DX sessions. Is it better to play for 8 hours in one day, or 2 hours over 4 days? Let me know what kind of sessions you guys have in the comments section, and we'll explore it in depth in the next video. But that's it for today, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next 2DX discussion. Bye bye for now. G'day everyone.